Abuseni kuma wa channel so I'll say GH Politics Avenue podcast also training because we headlines and a jumbre na IDB exo mo ni dem ya ho braxie mu yanko yinsemu na aye Solomon Ogsu aye communication director Emma aye movement for change na watimi aboyura aye OSP akso na wa trading tia na na do dankwa akufu aro ebi sa office no na onia obi bi nsema hodo so bebra ehu ebehia asem no mie no yehu de ko ene de ba abra wajembre e wo joy pram so she no so say hi GH Politics Avenue first time now subscribe to the channel hit notification bell so share na for so answer into me nkabi e ya na watchre wadwen under the comment section but I'll say yemko e insimnim.
You were in the NPP at the same time?
Yes. He wasn't in the NPP at that.
At the time? Are you sure? He was.
He joined later.
Later? Okay. So when you were there, when you were also in the NPP, are you telling us that the reason why the OSP was being created was that the president says, look, we are creating the office so that he could also investigate. Like investigation was the primary reason.
That's
what Awale
it's even in the act.
That is not really. That is not the true reason why that office came into being in the first place. Because you see, if you trace the NPP's route back into the 2000s, when he was not even there, when we were doing the real do.
No, I was not even a voter at that time.
So that's the point. So, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I'm only saying, so I stated a fact. Yeah.
So,
the argument then was that the Attorney General's office would be separated from the Ministry of Justice. That was the argument of the NPP. This business of OSP was just to deal with NDC government appointees. That was it. Because he...
Officially, that wasn't before.
No, but I'm telling you the true intent.
Okay. So you want me to believe you just because you are saying it?
No, by the time done, that's why you have your viewers. Okay. Everyone will make a reason.
You have evidence?
More than. Okay. Martin Amidu had fallen out with the NDC. He was writing a lot of episodes. Remember the Boyomi case here and there. He went to even court to fight as a private legal practitioner and so on and so forth. So the then administration realized that if they were to set up a body like that and bring in Martin Amidu, he could go and persecute. Not prosecute.
Not prosecute?
Persecute the NDC appointees. That was the intent. So you remember in 2017 when they went to Parliament, they went under a certificate of urgency. The first time they laid the bill, it was under a certificate of urgency, flattening all parliamentary procedures. Their minds were averted to it. Some of us in the NPP then said, look, I'm not a lawyer, but look, let me tell you, the Constitution has been written in simple English. It's not ambiguous. Nobody can convince you that. And for the purposes you have been talking about Article 88, somebody sent me a message that what is this Article 884 that you be born? When you say it, you just have to read it to the people so that they understand it. Or is it?
So are you holding the Constitution?
That, I always
yes, okay, read.
So 88.4. All offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any other person authorized by him, that is the Attorney General, in accordance with any law. This one, you need any superfluous English to understand this. That it is the Attorney General that must lead all prosecutions. So we said that, look, then why don't we amend this portion of the Constitution to allow for flexibility if indeed we really want to guarantee their independence? They said no, and that's why I agree with Sammy that Professor Michael Quay must be the last person to speak on this matter. Anytime I hear him on this matter, I flare up. Because you see, look, when you go past the age of 50 years, you must never be afraid of anything. All your interest must be is to see to nation building. You understand? You were the Speaker of Parliament. You are a constitutional lawyer. A political scientist.
Yes, very respected. Really.
Very respected. Yes. The number of lectures that he gave to us when we were those days. And you have this before you. Was it because of fear of Nana Akufo-Addo?
Oh, Solo. You're bringing...
No, that's the conclusion. Because what he's doing now...
You're bringing in the...
What he's doing now... Now come to why he's angry now.
So, but you see, if you go back to Samia's, the Hansa he was reading...
No, but it's also clear. That's what I'm saying that.
He was saying, I think at the time, he had the idea that once it was being passed by Parliament...
Yes.
Then it's fine. No, that's what he said. Because I also saw.
Oh yes, but he was wrong.
That was the idea.
First of all, that has not been the idea.
Yeah, because he's saying
he knew it.
He's saying to Dominic Ayede that look, we are operating here in Parliament. Once we pass that and we give the authority.
How could that have sufficed? He knows it, and now his afterwards interviews have even shown that he never believed in the act. So what was haunting him? Why couldn't he man up, look straight at it and say, no, this will not work?
Look at his face and say what?
Look at the president's face. You understand? And tell him, because he was, forget about he being a Speaker of Parliament. He was a member of the MPP and still a member, and a senior member for that matter, and a lawyer. So it's not as though he didn't know his law, but he allowed it to be passed. Now, fast forward, the office came into being. The office was established in 2018. To deal with what? Corruption and corruption-related offenses. And to recover what? Proceeds. Remember, 2018 to 2021, that was the tenure of Martin Amidu.
Yes.
The Auditor General tells us that the country lost close to 37 billion Ghana cedis through corruption.
Yes.
Nothing was done about it. This is the era of Martin Amidu.
Okay.
The core mandate, this one, it is coming out of audit. That you could go after these people and then make the attempt of recovering the process.
The AG, the Auditor General also has that power to surcharge.
No, but I'm saying that as part of his mandate, these are corruption matters. The AG, the Auditor General is slacking. You fill in the void. He refused or decided, did the lazy job Martin Amidu, and they don't go after them. Now fast forward, he resigned. And when he was resigned, what did he say? He called your president, Nana Akufo-Addo, as the mother serpent of corruption. And left. And there came Kisi Ejabin. Kisi Ejabin took it from the 37 billion. Then the Auditor General between 2022 to 2024. Remember, Kisi Ejabin came in 2022. Between 2022 to 2024, this country lost 42.1 billion.
So how is that a problem of Kisi Ejabin? When you have an Auditor General? These
are low-hanging fruits. The Auditor General has exposed to you. You are being paid that office between 2018...
We are paying the same Auditor General to surcharge...
So why is it that I want to justify to why I have never believed in that office.
Oh, you feel so it's a waste of time?
Total waste of everybody's time. Total waste of everybody's time. Kisi Ejabin himself had the cause to organize press conferences. In one breath, he tells us that the court is not helping him. Do you remember that?
Yes.
In another breath, he tells us that Ankwanoma or the crab of which soul did you sacrifice for this country? You work with bodyguards.
In Amoka.
Bodyguards. Look, this case that we are talking about.
And that's my point. Are we not jealous of the office?
How can I be jealous of such an office?
Going on?
How can I be jealous?
If you had the opportunity, you would have taken
No. If I had the opportunity.
Is the AG not jealous? Because look, the budgetary allocations to that office compared to, could it not be a case of jealousy? The fact that those who are working at the Attorney General Department, look at the OSP people. And including you're all jealous.
I cannot be jealous. I submitted my petition to the OSP, remember, concerning the pickups against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Again,
I submitted to him, not even a common courtesy of getting back to me. That matter, have you ever heard being investigated? By the way, the issue that is in court, the Issa Seidu's case, what is it about? You remember what that case is about? When someone imported containers of rice, 10.
Okay, rice.
Issa Seidu and Kekose. You know Kekose? Kekose was a director at the office of the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They took that rice, and we are told that they shared this rice to people that were fasting. It's a serious matter.
Are you sure?
You have forgotten about this case? In the Issa Seidu case, you don't know it.
So you are bringing in Dr. No.
Yeah. Kekose was a director at the office of the Vice.
Yes, but that's a different personality.
So what I'm saying is that, look, this office, from the UP's perspective, and we have said it in our great transformational plan for purposes of this yellow book.
Yeah, that's it.
We have said in our plan that to assure a true independent body, all the anti-corruption agencies
should be merged into one.
Should be merged
so you support the constitutional review?
Absolutely. Okay. And then we appoint an anti-corruption czar and amend Article 88 to assure them or guarantee them of that true independence. And we are even going further to say that there is a need for a second chamber of parliament. And what that chamber will be doing, because if the argument is that the Attorney General is appointed by the President, of course, who appoints the OSP? The reason why we say that the Attorney General's office is not independent, but it is the President that also appoints the OSP. So we are saying that such appointments must be done by the second chamber, comprising of former CDS, IGPs.
Can the Council of State simply do that? The
Council of State, the political appointments in there. You understand? So we believe in the second chamber. But until then, as it is right now, I believe that if this is how the OSP is behaving, then it is better we push all those resources to the Attorney General's office and make them efficient.
So why can't the AG just give the authorization?
But even if they give, the man must go for it. Look, at the point, we were told that by Sremsai that, all this while we were talking about Kerofriata, the impression has been created that the extradition orders have even been given to the Attorney General until Sremsai came and said that multiple requests. These were the words used by Sremsai. The man was not budging. What is his interest? But let me tell this administration, if they don't know day, they must look at night. One of the reasons they won election 2024 was corruption. If they are going to rely on this OSP, an OSP who goes to court with 78 charges, by the time we are done with 10 charges, it's 13 years. As a clue. Then they will be eating at the side of
I don't want us to be speculative. Okay, you know what I'll do? I want to come to Dr. Samia and then Awal before Council. Maybe some of you have questions for him. But let's do this. There are some brief tapes that we have of the OSP himself and then Haruna Idrisu at the time, who was is it minority?
Haruna was right.
Yeah, he also raised some.
He raised it.
So let's watch that briefly, and then I'll come back to Dr. Samia and Awal. Then we open up for questions. Probably some of you have questions for Council. Yeah, let's watch that now.
Title for our purposes is when you say prosecute these offences on the authority of the Attorney General. Which Attorney General? Where then is the independence that you promise? We will say that the appointing authority, the President shall appoint the special prosecutor or a special counsel, as it is in other jurisdictions, with the prior approval of Parliament, and probably even further recommend with 2/3 majority, so that the person is a strong personality who is subject not just to executive nomination, but prior approval of Parliament. We also must strongly recommend that an addition to the remit of the office of the special prosecutor must be recommendations of Parliament based on the Public Accounts Committee report, so that the leakages, misappropriation, embezzlement also can directly be punished by the special prosecutor. What is even more important in the long title for our purposes?
Its mandate directly from Article 88 of the Constitution, and that article is the one that vests the prosecutorial powers of the state in an Attorney General. Now, do you envisage a situation whereby the functions of the special prosecutor would conflict with the functions of the Attorney General, given the fact that these are functions largely derived from the constitutional powers bestowed on the Attorney General?
How things should properly go. There was a concern of this friction between the Attorney General and the OSP under Act 959 because of the way Article 88 has been couched. Because it gives all prosecutorial powers to the Attorney General, but then, by way of delegation, the Attorney General can delegate a person or institution to carry on prosecutions. So what the draftsman did in Act 959 is a sort of taking that discretion and that articulate it from the Attorney General, putting it in Act 959 and saying that the OSP can prosecute on the authority of the Attorney General. It is stated in the Act. And so by that formulation, from the onset in the Act, the OSP already has the authority of the Attorney General because Parliament has said so. But that will not end the story if more delineation is not done. So it appears tenuously, but the draftsman also tried to do something in Act 959 by specifying the offenses the OSP can investigate, can initiate, and conduct prosecutions in respect of. That is corruption and corruption-related offenses. There is a problematic one, the last one, which says existent offenses in relation.
Okay, so that's from the SP himself. Okay. Okay, before Dr. Let me come to Yawa.
So you see,
he acknowledges that indeed there's some more work to be done.
Yes.
Is that not lending credence to what counsel is saying?
That will be determined when the Supreme Court sits on his case. You understand? Today, as we speak, the reason for this discussion is as a result of the work that someone had done in the High Court, and there is an order. We're saying that if this government is truly interested in the fight against corruption, they should write the authorization for him to do that, so that the rest of the case on authorization, whether there is authorization or not, should be determined by the Supreme Court in Noah's case. That is one. Two is that, you see, when you listen to Martin Amidu's his veteran,
yes,
he mentioned it severally that he is not interested in only prosecution people. He's interested in asset recovery.
We can't take the intent of the bill. We can't take the intent of the bill from Martin Amidu, who was an appointee. The idea should come from government, then the NPP.
In his veteran.
Yes.
In our case, we said we want to prevent corruption.
Yes.
Not necessarily incarcerate people. Wait until the person goes.
How do you deter corruption?
One is that if you check Section 28 of the OSP Act, it gives him the police powers. Section 29 gives him the powers to seek every information that he wants. Section 31, seizure. And Section 38, asset freeze.
So why are you calling it Office of the Special Prosecutor then?
That's why I'm saying that. There are there's only one limitation to his work. And the limitation is the prosecution.
And I'm telling
you how he can even still be independent. Because, you see, the Act mandates him. The office holder.
To investigate. That will be the end of it, isn't it?
No, not that. To tell the people of this country every quarter that I have done this investigation, and this is the conclusion, but I am yet to go to court.
So I'm asking you about that. What will be the effect? What will be the effect if I can investigate, I can do all the checks, and yet I can't prosecute?
It helps in curbing corruption, because tomorrow, if he comes to arrest me, and he start giving updates on what I do, even if I am not guilty, it serves as a deterrent to someone. That is one. Two is that, you see, when you check the Act in itself, the appointment of the special prosecutor, the Act says that he is to be nominated by the Attorney General. He and his deputies are to be nominated by the Attorney General for the president to appoint. Then there will be a parliamentary approval.
Does that imply that that's automatic warrant? It's not a warrant.
No, it's not. It's not. I mentioned
my point.
No, even my point. If you listen to me, if you listen to me clearly, I said there is nothing wrong with the law.
Yes. But how does
I'm coming. But you will not allow me. You will not allow me.
I want you to understand.
You have to allow me.
I want you to understand my question so that you can come in. I'm saying that then how different is the OSP now, as we are calling it, from, say, Yoko, the Ghana Police Service? You have customs, there are some other, So how did you convince us that what you were establishing at the time was, it was relevant? There was something unique about it.
So I told you that they have several powers. And one of the powers is prosecution.
Yes.
And Martin Amidu, in his vetting, said he was not interested in witch hunting, going to prosecute people. He is interested in the preventive aspect of the work that he's supposed to do. By naming, shaming, and telling people that this is where I have gotten to. That's why I said that. This one, if you even leave the law the way it is, he needs authorization. But he has to do his whole investigation. In the course of the investigation, he's supposed to tell the people of this country, I've started this investigation. I've gotten to this stage. Now it is left with prosecution. I will send the letter for authorization so that if the AG declined that thing, Ghanaians will get to know. And when you check the architecture, when you check the board of the OSP, it has institutional representation, police service and others, to tell you that indeed we want to see some semblance of autonomy, at least if nothing else.
So was that what you communicated to the people of Ghana?
Yes, but you see, Article 88 is the limitation. That's why when we said we'll do a special prosecutor, we could have really put it before the people of this country that we want to really amend that so that there will be a referendum to amend it. We couldn't do that. We were in a hurry to create it because we wanted to really create that office to be able to fight corruption. When you say we picked Martin Amidu. Martin Amidu is an independent-minded person. You remember when he started the Wayomi case? When he started, he wanted to use either prosecute by Betty Moult or use her as a prosecution witness. And they prevented him from doing that. And that was one of the reasons he was, they used
I'm saying
Empire and Democrat to really attack him. And that was how he was removed. So it was not really for us to go and witch hunt anyone.
Yes.
If that was the case, why didn't we use some of our lawyers?
So for 8 years.
Anas Arimiao, Anas's lawyer.
Okay, yes. But we
used Anas's lawyer when Anas was in a collision course with some of our people. But we used his lawyer as the OSP.
Okay, but I'm saying to you...
And we gave him the leeway to operate to the extent that Minister of State was removed because of his investigation.
Well, I'm saying that why is it that for the last 8 years, you knew that that challenge had existed, yet we didn't make any attempt as a country to...
We ain't some of our team course or channel, so woman was so Jim, that sends so bad in the Adumbi Adumiania. You were essential.